Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure diorama review. Today, we're going to look at the ZBOBTOYS lifting iron frame platform and elevator. These are two 1/12 scale diorama pieces, and they should go together. They're intended for 6-inch scale figures, but I'm hoping they'll work for 7-inch scale figures as well. I got these things from Big Bad Toy Store. ZBOBTOYS, I believe, is another Chinese import. I'm really not sure if ZBOBTOYS and MMM Toys and 12 World are the same thing or not. Their products are very similar. If anyone has any clarification there, please drop me a line in the comments below. I'm very interested to know. So let's go and check out the packaging. As you can see, lifting iron frame platform 1/12. This is A. One side, made in China. Everything else is pretty blank. On this other one here, lifting frame elevator. This is B. They should go good together. Also made in China. So no further ado, let's open them up. Alright, so here will be the contents from package A. One solid piece, requires no assembly, which surprised me a little bit. We have this overall pretty large platform here. You've got some staircase where your figures can go up. Then they have this whole top area to enjoy, and there's no real ceiling, so any size suit can go there. It has this sort of square shape down here. That's going to be where the elevator will come down. And it's got this actual functioning doorway. So far, seems pretty cool. And here are the contents out of box B. Now this does kind of piss me off, although it's entirely my fault. I didn't really know what I was ordering. Typically you need to get version A and version B, put them together to have the entire set. Looks like version B contains not only version A, but also the extra pieces of B. You only have to get B to get the entire set, it looks like. And if I were to get something doubled with this platform here, you know, it's not so bad. I can find a ton of uses there, put them next to each other, have a much bigger platform. This could even work for pieces of your Batcave. I can see a ton of uses for this thing. Seems really cool so far. I just wish there were reviews out there that I could have watched before I purchased mine. So if you're looking to purchase this thing, you don't have to get A and B. B contains both. But let's see what I can do with both together. This piece here has the exact same platform from A. Then it also has these elevator pieces. And it looks like there are some electronics, so I'm not really sure how it's all going to work. But let's check it out. So here are all the contents of B laid out. We have this light, some sticky tack for it, so you can put this light anywhere in the diorama. You've got this large box here, which I'm assuming is going to sort of control lifting the elevator. If that's the case, that is absolutely awesome. Then it's got this little keychain here, and I assume this will control the elevator. You've got the little elevator piece here, the large exterior of the elevator, which I'm assuming is going to go on top of here. But let's see if I'm right about this. Let's start putting it together. You will need 4 AAA batteries, and they are not included. But at least it does include the odd battery that you need for the light. So now, I do have 2 of these platforms, 2 parts of A. You can make for a very large sort of factory or warehouse type setting, or it could be your Batcave. But for now, let's just focus on getting one of these put together. So here's the base, part A, just the platform or the shell. Now I'm going to take this elevator piece and lay it inside the platform. This has its own functioning door, slides open and shut. That'll work in combination with this door here that's going to open. Take this thing, gently put it inside. So then we have this larger elevator piece. I took 4 AAA batteries and put them inside the box here. This box has some very strong magnets. You should be able to put it pretty much anywhere you want. And that's a kind of a cool feature. It's got this chain here. I'm assuming that's going to actually function the elevator. I had no idea it was actually going to do this. That's really cool. So we'll take this thing. It's going to go on top here. But let's go ahead and put the chain onto the elevator and figure out where I can put this box so it's out of the way. So I went ahead and attached the chain to the elevator, inserted the elevator into the shaft in the middle, and to my surprise, when looking at the website, these things can stack on top of each other. Apparently, the chain is long enough to accommodate 5 different platforms on top of each other. Very, very cool. So it's not a waste that I bought 2 of those. In fact, I might have to get another one, but we'll see how this thing actually functions. I did notice when putting the elevator down there, it kept sort of getting stuck on the sides, so I'm not sure just how efficient this chain is going to be. So let's check out this keychain, and let's see how well this works. Like I said, it kept getting snagged on the sides when putting it down in there, so I don't really expect it to go up properly. Only one way to find out. A is for down, B is for up. It's already all the way down. Let's make sure it's all the way down. It sure is, so let's take it up. Oh, see, it got snagged there. Chain came loose. It's unfortunate. It doesn't look like it's going to function properly. This is my second attempt. There's really nothing I can do different. It's got some little pegs that'll determine how these things stack together, so I can't really adjust that. Let's see if it functions better with just one of the platforms. Now let's see how it does with just one of the platforms. A little less variables to get snagged on. Take the keychain, push letter B, let it go up. Looks like it's working perfect with just one platform on there. Absolutely amazing. Open the little door here. You got the sliding door inside of here. Bam, functioning elevator. I'll have to mess around with stacking the other one up, see if I can get that freed up. Can you imagine having this thing 5 stories tall? It's a really cool feature. Now this is electronic, and I don't feel like it's going to work forever. So I'm going to be very, very picky on when I use this thing. So unfortunately, it looks like this thing is just not going to work with both platforms stacked on top of each other. It gets snagged every time, whether it's going up or going down. And I found testing going down is much better than going up, as it doesn't snap that chain every time. That's pretty annoying, as it has an advertised feature of being able to stack 5 of these on top of each other, the chain being long enough for the elevator to go to each floor. And I'm not really shocked this thing doesn't work properly. A lot of these Chinese import 1/12 scale dioramas, they look cool, but some of the quality control is a little rough. So here's back to one platform, and let's see if it works like this. It's kind of groaning, kind of like an old man. It's struggling, but it's based off a couple of small batteries. See, it just works just fine with one platform, but add that second one and it gets snagged every time. I tried to figure out what was causing the issue. It just won't work. I tried flipping the platforms, different one on the bottom, different one on the top. I mean, this is still really cool, but hopefully I can get that other feature to work. Maybe there's a little piece of metal I can bend or something to make it work properly. I shouldn't have to think about that, but I have this either way, and it's very cool as is. Elevator does function for at least one level, and this thing does stack together to make 2 pretty cool levels. But it'd be nice to get this last feature working just right. Now let's check out the measurements of this thing, in case you want to know if you can accommodate this. Now this is going to be just one platform and elevator together. So as far as how deep it is back, about 12 inches deep. As far as how tall it is, the tallest point, about 20.5 inches tall. And as far as how wide it is, about 14.5 inches wide. And now let's check out the height of the two platforms with the elevator on top of each other. The very tallest point, about 27.5 inches. I'd say each individual platform is going to add about 11 inches. And to make this thing a little bit more impressive, I have a couple similar platforms, a lot more basic. Steel platform, version A and B by 12 World. Very similar to this, adding to my confusion about the difference of these companies. A little more platforms extending out to the sides, extra ladders. Makes for a very impressive factory type area. I like it a lot. There's still one last piece of assembly. It comes with this small little LED light. Take this thing, add the sticky tack to the back, stick it onto the ceiling. You can twist it if you want it to be on, twist it if you want it to be off. That should go into the elevator. So I went ahead and put the light onto the elevator. Let's go ahead and open the outer door. Then the sliding door, which is part of the actual elevator. Then you have this light here attached to the ceiling. Rotate it one way, it turns on. Rotate it the other way, and it turns off. Here's the elevator with the light off. Here it is with the light on in a fully lit room. Then in a completely dark room. And here it is in a semi-lit environment. Now let's check out the action features. We've already checked out the light. So now, let's look at the elevator. And I'm definitely going to make this one platform when doing this. So let's go ahead and demonstrate the elevator. I took a couple of Mayfix figures. They're 6-inch scale. Should be about perfect for this thing. So first of all, let's get this guy out of the way. Open up the doorway here. Open up the doorway for the elevator. Let's put our figures in there. One. And there is two. Shut the door. Shut the outer door. Now, I don't promise they're going to stay standing all the way down, and I don't promise this elevator is going to fit in properly. We'll see. So I backed up the camera, that we could see the top and the bottom floor. Let's try to lower this thing. Yeah, definitely not the fastest elevator, but it's the only functioning elevator I have from Action Figure World, that's for sure. And as we get to the bottom here, I noticed Butcher didn't quite make it standing all the way. He's kind of leaning. Open it up. Take your figures out. Bam. They survived the elevator ride. Now, like I said, hopefully I can get that thing to work with the extra floors, but it has become extremely frustrating. I've had that chain snap off about 1,000,000 times, the elevator fall, really just drive me absolutely crazy. One of my first thoughts was, maybe get a stronger chain, but that would actually be bad. You want kind of a weak chain that will snap off. If your chain is too strong, something will just break. The plastic links, I don't know what. It has to have some sort of give, it gets snagged on something. The way they designed this is pretty cool, but the quality control definitely leaves some to be desired. I probably won't be using the elevator much, as I'm going to be having this thing stacked on top of each other. A little disappointing, still a really cool set, but the main action feature just doesn't work well with the build-on. Works pretty good as is like this, with just the platform and the elevator. Add the second platform, yeah. And I was thinking about buying more of them. Not at this point. Now let's check it out with some guys in here. One of the first things I thought of when I saw this diorama is Ace Chemicals. A bunch of platforms. Here's Batman and the Red Hood. Batman is approaching the Red Hood. He is scared, backing away. The Red Hood continues to edge backward. The Red Hood falls off the edge. He falls into the vat of chemicals, becoming the Joker. This is where it all began. Here's an image of a bunch of Gotham mobsters looking up at the Red Hood. Here's Red Hood looking down on all the crime bosses. He's explained to them he runs this city now. Here's a whole bunch of NECA, aliens, colonial marines, all over this facility. Reminds me of the colony from the second film. At the bottom level, we have the sentry guns and the smart gunners. Here's the bishop android. And then there are marines guarding each level. So I've been messing around with this playset. Tried replacing the little chain with a paper clip. Trying to put it to a different spot, distribute the weight differently. That way maybe it won't get snagged. Right now I've got this thing able to go up, no problem, but it gets caught going down. If I change it, it seems to have the opposite problem. So let's try to see if we can put some figures in there and move upward. Here are a couple of colonial marines. Go ahead and open the door. Slide the door to the elevator open. And let's put 2 marines in there. Not easy to stand up inside that thing. These are 7-inch figures, a little bigger than are intended for this diorama. So let's see if this thing can support 2 heavy figures going up. Okay, fingers crossed this works, doesn't snap. Let's go and start the long journey up. Ten minutes later, insert elevator music. Now they're on the top level. Open the door. Slide the elevator door open. And exit the Marines. And here are a whole bunch of xenomorphs rushing those Marines. They don't stand a chance. Here's Ripley carrying Newt. This is like at the end of the second film when she's trying to escape the colony before the planet blows up. She gets onto the elevator with Newt. The Queen is right there. Now let's check this thing out next to some action figures from different various companies to see how it fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you don't know which lines you can use with this thing. This is intended for 1/12 scale figures, 6-inch scale figures like Marvel Legends, Mafex, SH Figure Arts. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the large action figure lines I collect and work smaller. I collect 6 and 7-inch stuff. Here it is with a bunch of 7-inch figures. They're striped up and down. Jack Pacific wrestling figures on the left, DST or Diamond Select toys in the middle, and McFarlane toys on the right. It's fudgeable, but they're definitely too tight for 7-inch figures. But it does work good, and works great for background scenarios. These 7-inch figures do actually fit in the second level, but their heads are almost touching the ceiling. And here it is, with some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures on the left, some NECA figures in the middle, and some Mattel wrestling figures on the right. Then, with some Jazzwares AEW wrestlers on the left, some Mezco 1/12 collective figures in the middle, and some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures on the right. And finally, here it is, with some Mafex figures on the left, some Hasbro Marvel Legends in the middle, and some SH Figure Arts on the right. 1/12 scale, a lot easier to accommodate these figures. Overall, it's a fantastic diorama, with all the add-ons This thing looks great. It works fantastic for the 1/12 scale figures. Not nearly as good for a 7-inch scale. McFarlane DC Multiverse is the thing I really wanted to work probably the most with this. And it's fudgeable, but not very comfortable. Now, the elevator, it's very, very, very frustrating. No matter what, it keeps getting snagged and messing up. It's also crazy slow and crazy loud. And you know what? That's fine. I get it. They're going to use a piece of junk motor. They have to make this thing affordable. I totally understand that, and that doesn't bother me. But the fact that it gets snagged going up or going down, depending on how it's set up, is infuriating. Maybe over time I can get it to work smooth, but for now it's very disappointing. That being said, Diorama is still very cool. All the different platforms, a ton of play area. It's made of actual metal. I noticed the elevator part is already sold out at Big Bad Toy Store. If I were to rate this thing, it's hard to give it a rating. I'm probably going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. And mainly because the elevator is so infuriating. I was yelling and cussing at this thing as it kept falling off. It's a whole lot of work to put that thing back together. If you don't take the fact the elevator's messed up into consideration, I'd easily give this a 7.5, maybe even an 8. Very nice diorama. If it was just a tiny bit bigger, it would be absolute perfection. That being said, still really like it. If I go back in time, I would definitely still purchase it. I can see a ton of different action figure scenarios for this thing. It is very all-purpose. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure diorama and action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.